Welcome everybody back to CVW, and we're live from the Grand Battle Arena in the Johto region. This time, the Pokemon Stadium in Kanto currently under renovation, so we've got a new amazing arena, folks, to host tonight's combat sessions and wrestling matches. I mean, just look at this amazing place. Perfectly built for a wrestling matchup. The ring is as dangerous as ever, with now mail all over it, and we start off with Cinderace's exclusive interview. Because here comes the self-proclaimed savior of CVW, Cinderace. And tonight, the quote-unquote Pokemon Stadium Messiah, I guess in this time, is the Grand Battle Arena Messiah, because he has came here to make an announcement, to make his voice known. And we're gonna figure out what Cinderace has got to say here tonight. Definitely one of the more disliked of our Pokemon wrestlers. And he's got an announcement, he's gonna make his voice well heard here tonight. And Cinderace says, well, despite this company's attempt to shut me down, I will make sure I become your world champion. But first stage, if they don't want me to be world champion, if they don't want me to be champion at all, I'll take matters into my own hands. See, there's a new championship in CVW now, and I like to call it the Internet Champion. And you're probably wondering, who will be this new champion? Well, do you think I'm really going to give anyone else an opportunity? I introduce you to the CVW Internet Championship, and I will be your first champion. Well, Cinderace unveiling the Internet Championship, but of course, in the most cowardly act ever, classic Cinderace, he crowns himself the first CVW Internet Champion. I might add that title looks amazing, but it's not amazing around the waist of the self-proclaimed savior of CVW. Cinderace finding a way to get himself a championship. But now we move on to our solid steel cage matchup, and there's going to be no escaping, no running, no interferences for these two, because it's a rematch from episode 1. Venasaur looks to settle the score with Skeledirge once again, finally get revenge. But Skeledirge is ready tonight, once again walking through the fire, walking through the smoke, ready for action. This is gonna be crazy. These two, if you remember, they were the first two acts on episode 1. They were the first ever matchup in CVW history. Now they're gonna make history again inside a steel cage. The first time ever CVW has a solid steel cage match. And Cinderace and Venusaur making history once again, as I said. But Skeledirge is ready, roaring into the crowd as always, ready for this matchup. He's beat Venusaur again. Can he do it once again? Can he put Venusaur down again? But of course, Venusaur is going to be a titan, if you will, to topple. Venusaur is not going to lay down. He's not going to stay down. He's certainly not gonna exit this matchup without a fight. Here comes the disgruntled, angry veteran of CVW, Venasaur. Some would say the original Pokemon. One of the first Pokemons in the national decks, of course. First ever grass starter, arguably some would say first ever starter. And now he walks into the steel cage with his biggest rival so far, Skeledirge. They're gonna fight again inside this cage. There's not gonna be any escaping, and that's gonna favor Venusaur. Venusaur does not want Skeledirge to run, to rely on those weapons. He just wants to fight him man on man in that cage. And Venusaur flexing as we take a look at that blue cage that's going to descend onto this arena, around this ring. and enclose these two gladiators inside their lion's den, if you will. The ring mat is as rough as rocks. They are trapped inside a cage, and they are ready to do battle. And this matchup has begun, and immediately, Venusaur, with the running knee right to the face immediately. Venusaur takes early control. In fact, he's picking Skeledirge up for no way. Venusaur spinning Skeledirge around. He's got him up. A spinning pile driver by Venusaur. A spinning pile driver. Dropping Skeledirge onto that rock hard ring mat. But wait a minute. Skeledirge is getting up. And Venusaur does not realize it. The jumping kick to the face by Skeledirge. And now, Skeledirge getting ready, but Venusaur grabs him and just hits the elbow to the back of the head of Skeledirge. And now Venusaur picking Skeledirge up, powers him up, modified power bomb by Venusaur. Venusaur now just posing to the crowd, taking some time to pose, taking some time to observe the rest of the structure, and he's got a plan. In fact, he's got a plan. And now Venusaur just throwing Skeledirge. Venusaur just threw Skeledirge right into the cage. And these two continuing, but Skeledirge fighting back now. In fact, this is familiar. The kick to the jaw by Skeledirge. And another kick to the jaw, the jaw by Skeledirge. 2 kicks to the jaw. And this is looking to start familiar, because this is the exact same way he set up to beat Venusaur the last time these two faced off. And we are about to see a repeat of history inside this cage this time, as Skeledirge sets up Venusaur once again for the Torch Song Slam. It was inevitable, and in the exact same way he conquered Venusaur last time, Skeledirge conquers Venusaur again, this time inside a steel cage. Here is your winner of this solid steel cage match, Skeledirge. Skeledirge repeats history. He vanquishes Venusaur once again, proves he was the better man, proves he was the better Pokemon, proves he was better overall. These two did battle again, and Skeledirge proved he was still better than Venusaur. But we move on to our main event, and it's time for a number 1 contenders matchup. Who will face hawlucha next? Well, out first, making his debut, Meowscarada, getting ready for action. And Meowscarada, the newest addition to CVW, looking to pick up the victory. Can the Vicious Magician get done when it matters most? In a tough first opponent in the form of Palafin, can Meowscarada succeed? Or will Palafin get the victory? Well, Meowscarada certainly ready for this matchup. Just staring into the crowd. This is definitely going to be a dangerous threat for Palafin. There's a reason why Meowscarada is known as the Vicious Magician, because he is going to bend the body of Palafin and throw in some magic as well, maybe. I don't know what type of fireballs or other magic could be used here, but I'm reading my notes. One of Meowscarada's inspirations being none other than Papa Shango. Of course, if there's any wrestling fans currently watching right now, you will know who Papa Shango probably is. And that is a deadly inspiration for a deadly superstar, as the fireworks are starting to rise up in this arena as Meowscarada concludes his entrance. But It's time for a hero to make his entrance once again. Palafin beating Cinderace on the last episode, and well, the indestructible, inevitable hero has arrived. The indestructible hero Palafin, ready for action once again. Can he pick up another victory and continue to rise, or will he fall? But Palafin, we've seen how deadly he can be with those strikes, with those punches, especially with that jet punch. Could signal the end of the matchup if he lands it. These two have their skills, they have their ways. They have their ways of winning, and only one of them can win this matchup though. Only one of them can be your number one contender. Will it be Palafin? Will it be Meowscarada? We're about to find out as Palafin poses on the top turnbuckle. And the referee rings the bell, and I'm going to get ready to do more wrestling lingo. And Meowscarada, Palafin sizing each other up. We could be seeing a test of strength like always. Never mind, Meowscarada with the tackle attack to Palafin. Classic Pokemon move, the tackle. And Meowscarada gonna gain early control. I believe these two are the same height, but I think Meowscarada might be taller. But Palafin fighting back. Throws Meowscarada over the top rope, but Meowscarada counters. And sweeps the leg out from Palafin. With a kick right to the leg, sweeps Palafin off his feet. And now Meowscarada posing to the crowd, telling Palafin to get up, just taunting him at this point. Throws Palafin into that bomb out into the corner. And now the running knee by Meowscarada falls it through with a rolling cannonball splash in the corner. What amazing athleticism. Palafin, however, able to counter. In fact, Palafin locking in a sleeper hold. Wait a minute, not just a sleeper hold. Palafin cinches in that grounded sleeper hold, locks it in deep. This could be hard for Meowscarada to get out of. He's got the leg scissors around, but never mind. Meowscarada trying to fight back, trying to elbow his way out of this situation. Trying to scratch and claw himself out of the situation. Meowscarada, however, able to roll out of the grounded sleep hold and now climbing to the top rope. And this magician is about to flying, top rope spinning, heel kick lands by Meowscarada. The magician flies and now picks Palafin up from the ground. But Palafin, wait a minute, Palafin able to escape, able to power out. And in classic Palafin fashion, we're going to see that spinning elbow once again. Boom, the spinning elbow has set up his last victory. And he's going to set him up for another victory possibly. There it is, jet punch. But wait a minute, that's Skeledirge. We already saw Skeledirge, but now he's distracting Palafin. I can't believe it, he's distracting Palafin. What does he want? Wait, is he making an alliance with... Oh, it's obvious now. Meowscarada, Skeledirge, they are two of the Paldean stars. And now Meowscarada setting up to end this matchup. Going for that modified Tombstone Piledriver that he calls the Burial Flower. Burial Flower finishing maneuver by Meowscarada. And that's game, set, and match. It has to be over. Meowscarada picks up the victory with the assist of Skeledirge. You have to think if Skeledirge hadn't gone involved there, Palafin would have won the matchup. But Meowscarada able to steal the victory with the help of an old friend. And we are truly entering the dark age of CVW. And well, folks, that's the end of the video. I'll see you later. Goodbye.